LAPD, life on the beat.
Hazardous materials are virtually everywhere.
Hazmat cops tackle the chemical front lines.
It's not a matter of if, but when.
When there's an accident or a pollutant is used in the commission of a crime, it's time to call a specialized unit, codenamed Hazmat.
Hazardous materials are any substance that is harmful to humans, the environment, or can damage property.
There's some 14 million chemicals, known chemicals out there right now, 70,000 of which have been deemed to be hazardous.
It's like any policing function. We spend a lot of time on the streets of Los Angeles in marked vehicles, hazardous materials enforcement. We take a very critical look at the trucks on the streets and the highways, and we look for violations. This is a cargo tank, and it's something we see every day on the freeways and streets of Los Angeles. This is a tank full of gasoline. Gasoline is 100 times more explosive than TNT.
Hazardous materials transportation accounts for about 500,000 shipments of hazardous materials per day. The overwhelming majority of the hazmat transportation incidences are a result of poor packaging of the hazardous materials, allowing it to slide, tip, or roll or fall, thus damaging it, causing the materials to leak out.
One example of a dangerous commodity that we see a lot is tank trucks, large cargo tanks full of hydrochloric acid, which is used in the plating industry and a lot of metal fabrications. We're a large cargo tank that's rolling down the road to become involved in an accident, or some sort of a problem happened where this stuff started spilling out onto the ground. People started driving through it. They could splash on them. And if a human were to come into contact with a significant amount of hydrochloric acid, the results would be just devastating. If you can imagine having your arm melt off as you watch.
We recently had an incident where sodium metal was illegally disposed of in a landfill. It was the container and packaging was torn open by their normal bulldozing of the dirt, and because it coincidentally happened to rain that same day, the material sodium is very reactive to moisture and especially water. When it rained, large amounts of water contacted the material, which caused spontaneous explosions.
One of our responsibilities is anytime we get a call from either the fire department or the public regarding any type of hazardous materials that might have been abandoned, illegally disposed of, or even in this case, where it looks like it's fallen off a truck, is to come out, conduct an investigation, and make a determination as to what type of protective actions we need to take. When dealing with hazmat, and I tell people frequently, we're not chemists doing this job. What we are is basically cops in spacesuits. We're always looking for a leak or maybe a vapor or a mist. Frequently, we'll put on our respirators as an extra measure of precaution, along with the Tyvek and some gloves, just to protect ourselves in the eventuality that a product is leaking, and it will avoid us becoming contaminated.
It's vitally important that street officers have an awareness of hazardous materials, because they are virtually everywhere. And it's not a matter of if, but when these officers are going to become involved in a hazardous materials incident. And if they don't have the proper skills to manage it and get through it, they're going to become part of the problem instead of part of the solution.
Right now we're preparing for the possibility of a terrorist attack using a nuclear, biological, or chemical agent. Imagine, if you will, a terrorist incident here in the Coliseum of Los Angeles. There are 50,000 people in the stands. The device could be nuclear, biological, or chemical. And right away, we have a large population in this Coliseum that have been injured or killed. Now you can just imagine what it'd be, say it's a chemical, and it's a fast-acting chemical. These people, their skin might be blistering, their lungs could be exploding, they might be bleeding out of their ears. It's going to create panic. We at the Hazardous Materials Environmental Crimes Unit are trying to come up with a solid emergency response plan on how to deal with this incident.
Saving lives and limiting casualties is one of the main goals at any hazmat incident.
Restoring normality to the area is extremely high on the priority list, and safety first, foremost, and always.